Can I just get applause for walking? Yeah, wait, let's try again. Okay, first question.
So when I'm comparing the PTS for 2.8 and 2.9, on 2.8 we got a lot of responses from the developers regarding class changes and so on. And 2.9 didn't get a single developer response, especially outside of maybe PTS going down or implying an update. So can you explain to us why there was no developer response there? So reassure us that all our concerns were read, and now with Shadow Realm being announced and you're also working there, can we expect even less responses in the future?
All right, so I'm going to say I'll answer half of the first question and the full part of the second question. I'm going to touch on the second question very quickly. So as many of you know, we announced a new IP, which is called Shadow Realms. A lot of the questions that came up immediately is, does this mean that there are any concerns about Star Wars: The Old Republic? They are completely different development teams. There's no interaction between those two things. Obviously, we didn't start working on Shadow Realms yesterday. It's been happening for a while. It had no impact on Star Wars: The Old Republic. For people like me that work on both projects, I also have been working on that for quite some time, and no one knew that it had happened. No, but our teams are dedicated to make sure that both projects, especially Star Wars: The Old Republic, are catered to, so you have no concerns about that. PTS. So there's two parts to it. I'm going to let Andrew talk to the development part in case there's something that I miss. If you notice, when we opened PTS for 2.9, there was a bunch of stickies in the PTS forum talking about how things were going to be different for this PTS than they were before. One of the things we talked about is how we were going to get feedback and how we were going to action that feedback. Part of that is that, as you can imagine, our development team was working insanely hard getting Strongholds done. So that it will release next week. And as part of that, simply put, they literally did not have 10 seconds to spare to help us give responses or to respond to anything, which is part of the reason why when PTS had gone up, I made a post talking about that. One thing you should note with the feedback for 2.9 is that any feedback you give us, it is likely that a lot of that feedback, you won't see it incorporated directly into 2.9 because of how tightly and how aggressively we were developing it, that stuff would start to come later. So I promise you, we're getting all of that feedback and passing it on. You just may not see action on it for a little while. Because simply put, the most I could have done is been like, yes, I've read this thread, and I know that may have made some people feel better, but the thing is I read all of the threads on the forum, so I see a lot of things, and maybe that's my fault for not just simply going into threads and going, hey, I have absolutely read this and we passed it on, but we've absolutely read it and I've passed it on. Do you have anything to add? Yeah.
Hello. Okay, so you actually touched on the reasoning in your question. When you compare 2.8 to 2.9, 2.8 had a lot of class changes in it, 2.9 had no class changes in it. We did it for a reason, or many reasons, but the reason that you didn't get a lot of response, like direct response in 2.9 is because what we use public test for primarily is for balance testing and general other broader tests. So the difference between 2.8 and 2.9 is 2.8 had a lot of class changes in it, and we use PTS specifically for balance feedback on class changes. It's very helpful to us. We can't balance that stuff internally. We rely on it in the development process to make those class changes good before they go out live. In 2.9, it was more of a new system that we had other goals for the testing, right? So it didn't rely on a lot of feedback, although we do read it, but it's not the same kind of development process as making class changes, right? We have a whole new system where you decorate a house that's not screwing with 16 advanced classes and making sure that they all play together in a new environment. So you can expect to see feedback whenever we do class changes. Doesn't matter how many we do. We really look for community feedback and we respond. So that's why you got a lot in 2.8 and why you didn't see as much in 2.9. Does that make sense?
But don't take that to mean that you won't see that feedback actioned equivalently.
Yeah,
I'm going to do one question because we're on limited time. Find one of us later, all right? Okay. Next question.
So, in Galactic Strongholds, you're going to introduce a lot of changes in the crafting area. New schematics and everything, especially what I want to ask about is the Dark Project, which is rather expensive in terms of crafting materials used that you need to use for it. I was just wondering why you're doing that. Is that because it's more targeted or targeting the guilds because it can be used for the flagship, or as a long-term goal for crafters? Why make it so expensive, so to speak?
Funny enough, you guys are, I don't know if this is more reasons why I love Europe, you actually answered the question. Which is simply put that it is a guild function. Conquest largely is a guilding, although there are personal conquests. Conquests largely tie into, and especially dark projects, tie into flagships. So yes, we absolutely want guilds to be working together towards those things. And as you know, when we released the price of flagships, a lot of people weren't happy because they were high. It is absolutely our intent that guild flagships, we want them to be something that guilds strive to get. We don't want every guild to have it on day one. We don't want every guild to be able to unlock everything on day one. And as part of that, stuff may seem like it's a little pricier, but we really want it to be something that guilds work for and earn and are really, really proud of when they get. So you actually answered the question for us. So thank you. Let's see if we can do this 3 times. 3 times.
Hello. First thing, when you're creating those games, you have a vision, right? How close would you say you got with the Old Republic to that vision? Or how many visions do you had for that game since you ended up there?
Does everyone hear the question? Yeah?
That's a very good question because this is both an art and a science of making games, and our jobs as producers essentially is to act as the middleman between those that are super rational and those that are super emotional. So there's never really one vision. There's always a group goal, right? There's some kind of reason we want to make this game. And we all come to a general agreement on what that vision is. But if you've ever dealt with human beings, you know that what you have in your head is not the same as what other people have in their head. Right? So basically, there's no one vision that you can try to hit from the beginning. And if you plan on that, you're going to plan for failure. So the vision is constantly changing, and we're constantly iterating on what the end product is going to be. I've been on the product for 4.5 years. I think it's been in development. It's been in development for many years beyond that. So I can guarantee you the original vision of the game is not what you see today. And even after as a live product, it's always going to change, right? Since it's live, it's in a very dynamic world where we rely on feedback from you guys in order to incorporate that feedback into the stuff that we do in the game. So there's never really one vision, and I can't count how many there have been because it's been countless, right? Everyone has input. We work in a very collaborative environment where everyone is empowered to contribute to the vision of the product. And our job is to make sure that that collaboration and those ideas going in achieve a general company goal for that product. So it's a really producery answer, but it's the best I can give you.
No, okay.
Yeah. So I've been on the project since way before pre-launch, and I'd say the core of the original vision, right, was we wanted to build a epic, massive, story-driven game set in the Star Wars universe where players could fulfill their own Star Wars fantasies. That I feel like we've nailed.
Have we done that? Did we do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
Story requests are amazing.
But it's a living, a game is a living thing. It's evolving over time. It's a thing that has a life of its own. It's you guys, the way you play it. We closely look at the metrics. We're looking at how you're playing it. We also closely monitor what you're saying about the way you're playing it. And I'm sure you guys have heard of the wall of crazy. Like, that is just a wall of visions. There are things on that wall that have been there for years. There are things on the wall that got placed there just the day before we got on a plane to leave. So it's an evolving vision, it's an evolving game. That's sort of to me, the beautiful part of an MMO is that it's a world that's always living and moving and changing.
2 producer answers. Thank you. All right, tell you what, I did 3 questions. I think we should give away some stuff. Yeah? These guys, you guys weren't here for this. Wait, I want to show you this. Right? So that was the applause for free stuff. So after the free stuff and after the Q&A, we're going to have alcohol and drinks.
Wait, is that also free?
Yeah. That's also free.
You combine that?
So it's like free stuff, yeah.
Answer this
alcohol
question,
and
you get a beer now.
Free alcohol and food, yeah. Okay. Alright, so I have, do you have any Republic players in this room? Republic players. God, I love Europeans, you raised your hands. Seriously, and if I did that in San Diego, like people would lose their minds like throwing beer at us. Like it's awesome. Alright, so for this Republic hat, I would like someone to name for me. Oh, by the way, the way this works is raise your hand, don't shout out the answers, although I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna do that anyway. Name for me every Republic advanced class.
Jedi Sage, Jedi Shadow, Jedi Guardian, Jedi Sentinel, Trooper Vanguard, Trooper Commando, Smuggler Scoundrel, Smuggler Against Legion.
That is 8 correct answers. Come get your hat, sir. So I'm going to switch to the other side, and I have an Empire shirt. It is a men's red extra large, red indicated by Sith. Name for me all of the Empire advanced classes. I saw a hand, your hand. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Completely panicked.
That was great. That was great. Alright, can I ask the room a question for a moment? Can I give this man this shirt for how amazing of a response that was? That was so good. Oh.
I know every other question.
Alright, so I'm going to give away another Republic hat. And for this one, so there are a whole bunch of companions in the game that are from different classes, that their stories intersect. Can you name for me one set? You.
I don't know if I get the question right, but Kaizen and Mako?
Kaizen and Mako? I'm seeing everyone around shaking their head. That is a correct answer, yeah. Go ahead. Oh, I do. No, I know. No, I know. I was just excited how much everyone was like, yeah, he got that. So let's yeah, alright, so let's go ask questions. Then we'll give away some more stuff. Your question.
Yeah, hi. It's basically not my question. It's from a friend who called me who couldn't be here.
Okay.
His question is especially about the rumors who occur in the VCRP forum in Germany, in the roleplay forum, about the content you're adding. You told us guys you're adding it stepwise. Like the first part will be, I think, the Nashada strongholds and later on other stuff. And now people tell us it's all coming with the next update for the premium players. Is that true, or do you still continue putting it stepwise into the game?
So I just want to make sure I'm understanding your question. Is your question that we are going to be putting content in the game in stages?
Yeah, like the whole stronghold bundle in once, or is it like iterative?
Oh, okay, I got the question. Okay, so in 2.9, if you are a subscriber, you will have access to everything. The whole of Stronghold, right? So correct me if I'm wrong here, right? In 2.9, when 2.9 hits, every single part of Stronghold, so all 4 of the Strongholds, kill flagships, conquests, you're going to be playing all of that on Tuesday if you're a subscriber. And don't forget, if you've been a subscriber for a long time, you're also going to start with Nar Shaddaa plus some rooms to make it easier to get in. So yeah, that's absolutely not a rumor, that is absolutely how it works. So if you're a subscriber, Tuesday, prepare to have a whole lot of stuff to do.
Wow.
Good?
That's so good.
Thanks. Alright, sir. You good this time? You got it?
I will not panic this time. The question is on behalf of my humble guild master, which is there. He kindly asked me to ask you if we will have how can I say it without being insulted?
Ask it the insulting way. I hear this every day.
Okay.
Don't worry.
No, I will be insulted.
You will be insulted.
Yep. The hood toggle. We want to know if there will ever be something like that.
Sure.
So hood toggle is one of those things that has been requested for a very long time, right? Certainly it's something that I am not kidding. We've been doing Cantina tours for about 1.5 years, I don't know of a cantina tour we've ever done that someone has not asked me about that question.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's totally great. And the thing is, I think that's an indication of just how badly players want hood toggle, right? Like, clearly players really want it. It's one of those things where it would be a humongous undertaking to implement that. That does not mean by... I want to clarify something. When I say humongous undertaking, a lot of people think that what I'm saying is we're never going to do it. Galactic Strongholds, Galactic Starfighter, humongous undertakings to do. So I'm not saying it being a big undertaking means we won't do it. What that means is that until we're talking about the fact that we're working on it, it means it's not in the near term. So will we ever implement a hood toggle? Maybe, potentially. But we have no plans on the current roadmap. Current roadmap meaning the things we're talking to you about, so the end of this year, that you will see it. I'm not saying we'll never see it. It's just not coming in the very, very near term. I just want to be honest with you. So you won't see it in 2014 that I'm aware of anyway. But who knows what the future could hold, because we know that it's something that players really want.
Thank you.
Of course. All right, next question.
Thank you. Two things, one question. First, greetings. Schöne Grüße an das Imperium schläft zurück, weiß nicht, ob man da ist. Zweite Frage.
I want you to know, I love when people say things in German and I have no idea what it is and other people start cheering. Like, this will only be good. You don't have to tell
me.
No, you don't have to
say let's all eat Musco.
Your shoes don't look good.
Let's beat up this small child on the microphone. That's me, not you. Don't worry, it's me.
Sure. Second, thank you for making games that makes hard to study for bachelor. And the question, since the movies came out, the story from SWTOR is not more in the story. Sometimes you hear things that come back.
Sure.
That's the question.
Sure. So you're asking about canon, about SWTOR being canon. So this is the simple answer that I can give you: is that Star Wars: The Old Republic is a Star Wars game. We are continuing to produce Star Wars content. We work with LucasArts every single day to make sure that we are going to deliver to all of you who are fans of Star Wars a Star Wars story, worked with LucasArts to deliver that to you. We are giving you Star Wars story with LucasArts working with us to deliver you that story. It's Star Wars. It's just strictly Star Wars. And that hasn't changed. And I don't think it ever will, because we're Star Wars. Right? Alright, let's give away a little more stuff. Let me see what I have.
It's a humongous undertaking to change it.
Yeah, it would be a big undertaking also to make it no longer Star Wars. That might make this event a little strange, also. Alright. So, I'm going to give away next the Journal of Nostral. So I know many of you have this, I would bet, right? Yeah, we got some collector's edition owners in here. So for those of you that don't have it, this came with the collector's edition of the game. So if you don't have a collector's edition, this would be the only way to get it. Also, the three of us are here, and there's also a ton of players. It's a cool thing to get it signed by players. So if you get it, feel free to find us, and we can sign this for you. So this is what I want to do for this, and this will be a tricky one, is one of the things that always amazes us when we come to these events is the dedication that you guys have as fans. Like, it blows us away. It's the reason that we do our jobs more than anything else. And when we have events like this, we have people who have come from insane places to come to these events. So I'm going to give the Journal of Nostral to the person who has come the furthest to be here today, and you must actually be able to prove it to me that you came from there. Yeah, I know. We don't count. We don't count. That was well played, though. I didn't even think of that joke. Yeah. You're from Russia. Brazil. Wow. Is that like a dot on the opposite end of the earth? How long did it take you to get here? 4 years? Can anybody beat Brazil?
Tatooine.
Alright, you come get this shirt. I'm giving you this shirt. Yeah, that's happening. That's happening. Alright, so Brazil's gonna be a winner then? Can you prove to me you're from Brazil? Alright. Did you just say samba? Alright, this is seriously going to become my favorite event we've ever done. This is going to be...
Tabasco's from Brazil.
Yeah, right, yeah. I do a mean samba. It gets better with alcohol. Jesus Christ. Can we have a round of applause? You came from Brazil. Alright, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to let these two ask their questions. Unfortunately, I'm going to cut the line. You already asked a question, and you find us later, we'll answer your questions. So let these two answer a question, we're going to give away one more prize, and then we get to the free food and alcohol, which I think you guys like, right? You guys like? Alright, question, sir.
Hi, thanks. So I'm here today representing Toracast. I've got a bunch of questions from Road, which I'll ask you later. I'll get one. So in the other cantinas, we've spoken a lot about cross-server queuing for PvP, and you said that at the moment, in the foreseeable future, that it won't be implemented. Have you thought of any other options to provide that sort of competitive arena to allow the sort of feel of cross-server? For example, allowing people to compete on a PTS-type server they can transfer their character to compete in a future season of PvP. And what other options have you come up with, and how viable are they that you'd actually do them?
I'll get the first one.
Yes, we have thought of other options.
You can fill in the
You're a jerk. Okay. So, the answer to that is tricky in that I really don't have an answer for you, not because there isn't one. There is one, but what I can say is that we, the PvP team is well aware of that people would love to see cross-server, right? It's something that, obviously based on the round of applause, that neared the free drink and free food and alcohol applause. People would love to see, guys are so excited about that. People would love to see cross-server. And I think really what it comes down to is that people don't want to see cross-server. That's not actually what they want to see. What players want to see is queues popping, and they want to see a large population of people that are going into PvP. And we know that. And some of the things that we've tried to do, going backwards, obviously giving people a rank core and doing things like that to incentivize them to get in. There's lots of options that we're exploring. I can't speak to what those specifics are, partially because I don't know, partially because I can't. But I can tell you that the PvP team, literally that's what they do. They do PvP. That they design it for this game, and they want it to be a success. They want everybody to love it. They want everybody to play it constantly, and it's something that they also have to design around. So I don't have a specific answer for you, which I know sucks, but I can tell you that those guys are constantly looking at and working on figuring out ways that they can give the best possible PvP experience to our PvP players. And for any questions of like cross-server or when that might happen, that's kind of the things that can go on that table of things that would be a big undertaking, but certainly not something we would ever say no to. It just means it's not going to come immediately in the future.
Right. I can say that we've started to narrow down viable options of how we want to address that issue.
Yeah, it's like I don't want you to take my answer as inaction. Believe me, these conversations are happening constantly about what we can do to address the concerns of players around populations increasing participation in ranked PvP. So I don't have an answer to give you today, but I can tell you that it is something that is being very actively discussed.
Sorry.
Hello. Over the last updates, we've seen mostly the three big updates like Galactic Starfighter and now the Galactic Stronghold. Before that, we had the paid digital expansion, the Rise of the Hutt Cartel, with the big new story chunk and stuff. Is the plan to continue with the three big feature updates, or are there still future plans for a big digital expansion or even a physical expansion?
Let me think how to answer this question. Corey just raised his eyebrows at me 3 times. So this is what I'll say. I'm gonna kind of be coy and repeat something that I said on the IGN stream for anyone that didn't see it. And this is only going to answer your question. To answer your question, we're going to do a whole bunch of different things to introduce content into the game, the things of what you said. But as everyone, or as most of you may know, we have talked about the fact that there is a Rise-like expansion coming later this year. We haven't told you anything else about what that actually means. What I can say is, and this was strictly from my marketing team, is that in the next few weeks, we're going to tell you what that means. That's a soon that might not even have a TM after it. That might actually be soon, depending on your definition. Yeah, that's soon. We're going to tell you details about what our plans are for the rest of this year and what that expansion means. I think you guys are all going to be excited. So stay tuned for that information. I know that's another non-answer, but it is an answer if there's information coming on the calendar. All right?
Yeah.
All right, so thank you guys all for your questions. I have one more piece of swag to give away. Okay, so this shirt, I'm going to show it to you.
Hold the shirt up. I don't need the microphone in here. Acoustics in here are great.
So this shirt is awesome, and this is a shirt that we gave away only one time. It was 3 years ago at PAX Prime. There's also an Empire version of it too. Those don't even exist anymore. I have a box of about 4 of these behind my desk, and I only bring them out for special occasions. Coming to Germany and see you awesome-ass people counts as a special occasion. So, those applause are for you, not for me. So, this shirt I'm going to give away. It is I think it's a small. It actually looks more like a medium, but it's probably small. Is it small? It says adult. It says adult? It's an adult-sized shirt. So if you're adult size, the shirt might fit you. I have no idea what that means. Okay, I think it is actually around it. Let's see, hold it up to me. I'm a men's extra small, so let's see how this fits up against me. Okay.
I love dressing, Eric.
That quote's gonna be on the internet later. It looks like a small, that's probably about a small .5. Small.
So what we just learned is Musco barely wears an
Barely wears it. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, actually I have a fun story about that, so ask me about it later. So, for this, I'm gonna ask a question that I think is difficult, but we'll see. Do you guys all remember the Return trailer, the Return cinematic trailer? So in that trailer, you get to see Darth Malgus as a young buck being awesome, and he has a master. Tell me what his master's name is. Wow, your hand went up instantaneously. No. What is it? Vindican. Darth Vindican is the correct answer. The reason that's an impressive question to know the answer to is because we've never said it anywhere. You actually have to look into it to find out.
I recently looked into it.
And that paid dividends today. So, thank you. All right, so just again to reiterate how things are going to work. Again, my name is Eric, or Musco, if you know me as that. It's Andrew and Corey. Please find us throughout the rest of the night. Don't mob us when I stop talking on the mic, although I don't think you guys are going to do that anyway. I just want to do all my events in Europe. This is fantastic. Yeah, so, yeah, I should. That's a good idea. So what we're going to do is, as soon as I'm done talking, the doors are going to open, or we'll open the doors and go outside, and there'll be food and drink out there for you guys. So there's lots of food to eat. The alcohol is on us for a while. It is possible we may end up running up a tab where I go, these guys are drinking a whole lot, so I'm going to make them pay for their own. But at that point, you guys will all probably be blitzed, so it won't matter. So just a few last things before I wrap it up. If any of you guys are, something I always ask you, are active on the forums and you post a lot, find me and just tell me who you are. I always love to put faces with names, because obviously I read the forums a whole lot as part of my job, so I always think that's cool. I also would like to reiterate that we love you guys. Literally, we wouldn't do this job without you guys, so please give yourselves a very hearty round of applause for being awesome. I would like to also say, for their non- and partially producer answers, please show these guys some love for taking their time away from developing the game and coming out with us, producing the game, I guess. Yeah. And last but not least, and I genuinely hope, and I mean this sincerely, that this is the loudest applause that you guys are capable of, and that happens tonight. We have really awesome jobs. We got to fly to Germany to come hang out with you guys and talk to you about Star Wars: The Republic. But there is a whole team of people who are sitting back in Austin. In fact, due to the time change, they're working right now. And they're working very, very hard to make sure that you guys have strongholds. Next week, they've been working hard for a really long time to bring that to you, along with all the great content that you guys enjoy. So please, see if they can hear us over the pond all the way back in Austin. Give it a round of applause for the guys back in Austin. Yeah, that definitely won. Don't break it when I say this. But I'm done talking, so I'm going to put the mic down, and you guys are welcome to head out into the hallway where you'll find food and drink. Please enjoy it, find it, chat with each other, chat with us, have fun tonight, and we'll talk to you guys, all right? Thank you guys very much. Thank you.